Myths and legends. Things that chill our bones and tickle our curiosity. Reality, or just something we inherited through history. Are you ready to find out about something new? Today we will be taking our journey to the coastal parts of West Croatia to the region known as Istra or Istria. Croatia is known to be a fertile ground for myths and legends, and Istra is certainly one that has produced a fair amount of them. So, today's topic will be Krsnici and Štriguni, good and evil creatures with an interesting background. Let's dive into Istria's mythology. Let's begin with the good ones, shall we? Krsnici are, as mentioned, good humans with supernatural abilities. They are mostly male and are known to aid people and animals, defending them from everything evil. They gain their supernatural abilities when they are born. An interesting fact is that the stories tell of babies that are born only in a white placenta and will later on become Krsnici. As mentioned, they are born with abilities, but they aren't shown until a Krsnik turns 7 years old. It is also said that if a doula says it's a Krsnik when a Krsnik is born, the baby will lose its supernatural abilities and live his or her life as a human. A Krsnik can lose its supernatural abilities in one more way. Once the child turns 7, grown Krsniks will come to its home and call out its name and awake that which lies within. But if the child isn't home 3 times at the time of its name calling ritual, the magic within will disappear. Krsniks can manipulate weather. They are extremely strong and can turn into flies, horses, and dogs. It is said that when Krsniks turn into dogs, they often follow humans to protect them from harm. They are said to be healers, so they often choose professions as doctors, veterinarians, and herbalists. We also have to mention that it is believed Krsniks can leave curses from humans and animals, and in most cases, no one will know what they are, so they tend to live in human communities, have spouses and children. But the most important duty of a Krsnik is to fight and kill creatures that are the evil part of today's video. They are called Štrigun or Štriga. Štriga, a female form, and Štrigun, a male form, are in their core believed to be witches, and sometimes are even linked to werewolves. Opposing the beliefs about Krsnik's birth, Štriguns are born in black or red placenta and with a small tail. Until they turn 24, they aren't dangerous, but after the mentioned age, their main purpose is to torment people, bringing misfortune to them and their animals. Štriguns are often blamed for the children's deaths, people ending their relationships, and even of bringing disease to the farm animals and causing hail. It is said that Štriguns and Štriga live as ordinary people by day, but at night turn into their evil form. If someone recognizes them in their unnatural form and calls out their name, Štriga or Štrigun will lose their abilities and turn into a human. Just like Krsniks, Štriga are also metamorphs, but they often turn into frogs, cats, pigs, or moths. At night, Štrigas fly to crossroads, dumps, or to walnut trees, where they gather, fight with flaming torches, brag about their mischiefs, and plan on whom to curse next. On June 24th, they gather at midnight and dance around Fern, and on that night, Fern blossoms. When a person who is believed to be a Štrigun dies, people place a metal nail in their mouth to prevent them from rising up from the graves. One such case is the case of Jure Grando, that was believed to be a Štrigun, or a Croatian version of a vampire. We made a separate video about Croatian vampires, and you are free to check it out after you finish watching this one. For the end, you will hear a true story told to me by a close friend who lives in Istra. For the sake of keeping her identity, the name in the story will be changed.
When Nina was a child, her grandmother would tell her stories about an old woman in the village who was supposedly a Štriga. Nina's grandmother told her that Štriga could come through the keyhole in the night and harm her. When they walked past that woman's house, Nina's grandmother would always hold her hand and tell her to be polite to the old woman and smile at her whenever she saw her. Nina points out that the old woman was married but didn't have children. She also had a brother who had no children, and peculiar enough, her husband had a brother who never had any children, but had a sister who divorced her husband when her child was only a year old, as if the bad luck followed the whole family. Years passed, and eventually the old woman died. Nina says that the house alleged Striga used to live in was empty for years until a couple bought it and started building a new house on that land. Not long after, the man who bought the house died all of a sudden. A few years after that, the property was again sold to someone else, and as the first time, the new owners started building their home. And just like the first time, the male owner soon got sick and the construction site was closed. So, are these just coincidences? Or did Striga really live on that cursed land? Guess we will never know.
So, there you have it. Krsnici and Štriguni. Good and evil that maintain a balance in the supernatural world. Myth or reality? It is up to you to decide. And remember, there is always something lurking out there, in the darkness, just waiting to torture or save you. Hey guys, thank you for sticking till the end. So you know the drill. Share, like, subscribe. As far as you share it, the better for us. So, do you like books? If you do, you will surely like my books that are called Štorka and House of Durga and are based on Croatian mythology and a bit of Indian mythology. So we will leave a link down below and keep following us. This has once again been one of Croatia's myths and legends. My name is Jelena Hrvoj.
I'm Daniel Fiken.
And we will hear you next week. Bye!
Bye.